Thank you and good evening. We're having some technical difficulties with our sound system, so I apologize. I'm not shouting at you, I'm shouting with you. We began with a march by the great American composer and bandmaster Carl Lawrence King. That was the Avenger March. And we're going to continue with the music of a Brooklyn, New York native. This is the music of Mitch Lee, whose real name was Erwin Mitchnick. He was born in Brooklyn to Ukrainian immigrants. He received his education at Yale, where he studied composition under Paul Hindemith. He had his first big success with this great musical Man of La Mancha in 1965, which ran for 6 years on Broadway, won 2 Tony Awards, and earned him a place in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. But he earned his living writing advertising jingles, and he never quit his day job despite the success that he had with Man of La Mancha. You remember that, if you're old enough to remember the commercial, "Nobody does it like Sara Lee." Do you remember that? That was his. He wrote that. Now you know. He saved his money from Man of Leominster and quietly bought up property in Jackson, New Jersey over the course of 25 years, right next to the interstate. Eventually, he had enough property to develop a large residential complex there with over 1,500 units, which he promoted himself in TV commercials, famously saying, "If you're not a nice person, please don't call." Sadly, Mitch Lee didn't live to see the 2023 grand opening. He passed away in 2014. But if you're interested in having an apartment in suburban New York area, it's called 21 Jackson, and they're still selling units. It is a wonderful arrangement by Frank Erickson of the music from Man of Leominster. now we go from the sublime to the comedic. We have a brand new arrangement of yakety sax. There's a little bit of a backstory to this. We had wanted to purchase an arrangement from a publisher that we like to buy from in Europe, only to find out that this American song isn't licensed by that publisher in Europe to sell in the U.S. So we couldn't buy it. So I wrote it. And we're going to feature our tenor saxophonist, who happens to be my wife, Judy. And she doesn't like to step in the spotlight very often, but we kind of pushed her into it tonight. So this is Judy Piamarini playing the Boots Randolph classic, Yakety Sax. We want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. First of all, for the good weather, if they have anything to do with it. It's nice to be outdoors. This has been an unprecedented summer where we've had so many indoor, being forced indoors because of the weather. It's ironic that on our very last occasion, we finally get to play outdoors. But we're glad for it. We love to be outdoors, and we love presenting music out in nature as it was intended. So we thank the City of Leominster through the office of Mayor Dean Mazzarella, the Music Performance Trust Fund through a grant from the American Federation of Musicians as administered by Local 173-300, Fitchburg, Merrimack Valley. And if you're not familiar with the Music Performance Trust Fund, they've been sponsoring these concerts and others like it for 80 years now, almost 80 years. a small percentage of every music purchase you make, whether you buy a CD or download music through Spotify or whatever stream music, a small percentage of that purchase goes into this trust fund, which provides live concerts like this by human musicians for no charge, free of charge, throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1948. So we thank them for that. We thank the Leominster Cultural Council, who provided the funds through a grant from the Massachusetts Cultural Council, and our corporate sponsor, who we're proud to have back with us this year, AIS Office Furniture. So if you're in the need for a office chair or a partition,
if you're in the need for testing 1, 2, 3, check. Nothing. Something. Yeah.
if you're in the need for partitions for your home, or you want to wall somebody off, AIS is the place to go. And if you need it for work, they're the place to go too.
AIS, yes. Does anybody know what that stands for?
Affordable interior system.
Affordable interior systems. So that tells you everything you need to know, right?
There you go.
Affordable interior systems.
And we want to also thank all of the patrons who are at the bottom of the back of the program. You too can have your name listed there. All it takes is a contribution of any amount. You can make it either by check, if people still do that. I did a gig for someone recently who claimed she doesn't have a checking account. And in 50 years in the music business, that's the first time I've encountered this. But people, that's the new thing. You might not have a checking account. If you don't, we're not on Venmo yet, but we do have a page on our website where you can go and donate via credit card. So you can walk up to us and hand us a check, or you can mail us a check to the address on the program.
1, 2, 3. We're back. Or you can go to our website, www.colonialband.org, and there's a place in the menu to donate there. And so we thank all of those patrons who make things like this possible. You may have seen our percussionist Evan with our brand new crash cymbals, our imported German Meinl cymbals. Those, he doesn't like doing that much, does he? Those were made possible completely through your donations, as is the new PA system we'll be purchasing in this off-season. So we encourage you to give. And we want to send a shout out to Steve Infantino, who saved our neck tonight by bringing an amp from home. So we continue with the music. Next we have a tribute to someone who is celebrating a birthday today, and that's the great late Louis Armstrong. It is his birthday. Yes, it is. It's just not the next piece. The next piece is before that. This is the music of Claire Grundman, whose works we've done before. A wonderful composer who specialized in works for wind band and did a wonderful job at it. And this is part of our continued salute to our country's 250th birthday. This is a medley of music from the Civil War that Claire Grundman put together, and he entitled it The Blue and the Gray. Did I mention we're celebrating a birthday today? Louis Armstrong firmly believed that he was born on the 4th of July in the year 1900, but he was wrong. He thought he was right, and that's what his mother told him, but either she didn't remember or, well, there's a lot of reasons for that, but it may have been just good publicity, but scholars learned in the 1980s that Louis Armstrong was actually born on August 4th, 1901. That was his real birthday. And they discovered that by unearthing a baptismal record, which showed the date of his birth. So today is actually his birthday. He'd be surprised to hear that today, but it is true. So we're going to feature, I think, both of our first trumpet players. Is that right? We're going to feature just Rich Given, who's going to play the role of Louis Armstrong. And those are big shoes to step into, even for him. But anyway, this is the music, a lot of the songs that Louis Armstrong put on the map. And this is an arrangement by Ted Ricketts called Satchmo. Rich Given. Thank you. Next, we're going to bring you some Brazilian music. This is from the pen of Antonio Carlos Jobim, who wrote this, I think, in 1965, around there, 66, 67. This was part of the Bossa Nova craze. And yeah, this is one that Stan Getz recorded and built a house in Malibu. This is Desafinado, which in Portuguese means slightly out of tune. Next, we have another Colonial Band premiere. This is one that I found on the off season. This is written by composer Ted Snyder. Ted Snyder, if you don't recognize the name, was one of the songsmiths from Tin Pan Alley. You would know his music through the Connie Francis hit, Who's Sorry Now? And if you go back far enough, or you're a fan of traditional jazz like I am, and you remember the song The Sheik of Araby, that was another one of Ted Snyder's big hits. This one was a little hit, but it was his first one. This one actually dates back to 1911, when he was a nascent songwriter, trying to make a name for himself. And he figured he'd try to cash in on the ragtime craze that was all the rage at the time. And this is a diamond in the rough. This is a pretty good one that I think has flown under the radar for 110 years, 115 years. But this is entitled Ramshackle Rag. We want to take this opportunity to plug a couple of performances. Our band's next performance will be at our annual Christmas concert. And no, it's not too early to start talking about Christmas. Sunday, December 13th. So go home and mark your calendars. Get your tickets early. Tickets are free, but actually there are no tickets. But be sure to circle it on your calendar. December 13th will be at Leominster City Hall Auditorium, presenting our, I don't know, I've lost count of how many. John says it's 36, but there was a year we didn't do it because of COVID, so I don't know how you count that. But anyway, 36, 37, there's a lot of years there of Christmas concerts. And we actually, believe it or not, we have new music to bring you. So we hope you will be with us for that on December 13th. And I'm going to do a little self-promotion here. Those of you that are interested in jazz, the jazz quintet that I co-lead with another trombone player, Wayne Branco, called Too Slick, will be appearing at Arthur's House of Jazz in Methuen on Thursday, August 20th. And as is my style, we're celebrating a birthday that night too. We'll be celebrating the centennial of the birth of the great jazz trombonist Frank Rossellino. And our special guest star that evening will be trombonist Jeff Galindo. Jeff has appeared with all kinds of named jazz artists. Phil Woods, he toured the world with Phil Woods. And Jeff will be our guest that night. So that's Thursday, August 20th at Arthur's House of Jazz, 7:30. There's a $20 cash admission. So if you're interested in jazz, please join us up there. And I have flyers, by the way, if you want one. So we're going to continue now with more Latin music. This is, again, I think the samba comes from Brazil as well. And this is a composition that Eric Osterling wrote probably to feature the flute section in the high school band that he taught. I'm totally making this up. Well, I'm not making it up. This is information based on good sources. I just don't know it for a fact, but he probably wrote this for his high school band. This features our flute section as it did his. This is entitled Samba for Flutes, and on this you're going to hear from left to right, although I don't think they're featured individually, but as a section, you will hear Pat Darby, Hannah Bitterman, and Sue Gagnon Thorne. Sue Thorne Gagnon, yes. Yeah, as John said, someday I'll get it right. Samba for Flutes by Eric Osterling. Pat Darby, Hannah Bitterman, and Sue Gagnon-Thorne.
Last week I had you have best things in life are free debates. You still have it in the debates. Take a minute to find the best things in life are free. I think you're going to need it.
For our next piece, we have something that we manage to get to every several years or so. This is a wonderful transcription for band of the Largo movement from Dvorak's New World Symphony, Symphony Number 9. It's a wonderful transcription for band that was done, 110 years ago by Vincent Shafranek. And we did something last week. We did the Atlantis Overture last week that was composed by Shafranek. This is one that he arranged, transcribed from the orchestra version by Dvorak. And it's a wonderful transcription. It's going to feature our oboist, Debbie Henke, but this time on the English horn. I'll get out of the way so that you can see. The English horn is kind of like a oboe with a thyroid problem. Deb, is the oboe handy? Can you hold up the oboe? So you can see next to the oboe, which is on the right, the English horn is a larger instrument, so it has a deeper, darker sound. The original orchestration, of course, called for an English horn, and Shafranek wisely kept that instrumentation in this transcription, and Debbie is going to demonstrate her prodigious skill at the instrument on this beautiful movement. You'll know it as Coming Home. It often gets played at funerals. Is it Coming Home or Going Home? Something like Going Home. But now you know where it's really from. And I'm going to tell you a story about how it connects to the United States. Dvorak wrote this symphony between January and the end of May in 1893 on a commission from the New York Philharmonic. At the time, he was living in New York, where he was serving as the director of the National Conservatory of Music, which no longer exists. A month after finishing the score, he had planned to spend his summer back home in Bohemia, which was then part of the Austria-Hungarian Empire. However, his assistant at the conservatory convinced the maestro to change his plans to summer in his hometown of Spillville, Iowa, 100 miles north of Cedar Rapids, which had a population at the time of about 350 people. Why did one of the world's leading composers, who had performed in all the greatest cities in Europe, choose to go to Spillville, Iowa? Anybody know? No, not corn. That's good reason, though. If you've been to Iowa, you know that's a good reason. At the time, Spillville, and I believe it still does, had become a popular settlement for Czech immigrants to the United States. Dvorak loved the small Czech community there and felt very much at home, where he spent his leisure time walking in the woods, listening to the birds by the Turkey River, and conversing with the locals in his native Czech. He even attended St. Wenceslas Church and played the organ there for the parishioners. He was inspired to write two important works in Spillville, not this one, but he wrote the String Quartet number 12 in F major and the String Quintet number 3 in E flat major. Will be tested on these keys at the end of the concert. In September, he packed up his family and took the train back to New York. Dvorak left the National Conservatory of Music in 1895. The school sadly did not survive the Depression and closed in 1930, but Dvorak's influence left a lasting impression on Spillville, where the home where he stayed is now a museum and a local highway bears his name. So if you ever find yourself in Spillville, Iowa, look for the Dvorak Museum. And Dvorak Highway, that's what it's called. So here it is, the Largo from the New World Symphony. Thank you very much. Now you can go home and tell everyone that you've heard and seen an English horn. And it's not even a brass instrument. That was Jerry Vabulous with the clarinet solo at the end of the piece, the fabulous Jerry Vabulous. We're quickly drawing to a close, but before we do, I would like to acknowledge the musicians who performed for you indoors all summer and outdoors tonight. So I'm going to ask you if you would be so kind to as hold your applause until I finish reading the roster. On clarinet, the fabulous Jerry Vabulous, Dave Dackwell, Bill Williams, excuse me. 50 years, it's the first time I've done that. Phil Darby next to Bill, and Sharon DiCicco. On our flute section, you've already met Pat Darby, Hannah Bitterman, and Sue Thorne Gagnon. Got it right. Maybe I'll remember now. Our bass clarinetist, Steve Archambault. On bassoon, did a marvelous job on The Blue and the Gray, and on the last one. Zach Piper, new with us this year. Zach Piper. On the oboe and English horn, Debbie Henke. On our saxophones, alto sax from right to left, Lou Stamus, Steve Dauphiné. And on tenor sax, Judy Piamarini. Our French horns from right to left, Lisa Adams, Declan Leclerc, and Mary Kate Bourne. Our baritone horn player also did a beautiful job in that last one, Charlie Leach. Trombones from right to left, we have Dan Johnson, Ken Anderson, and Dan Walker. On tuba, Fred Bernhardt. Our string bass player, Stefan Arsenault. On percussion, Jason Sharon and Evan Pinsino. Our trumpet section, Joe McCarthy, Rich Given, Rick O'Leary, who comes all the way from Mansfield. He's a Leominster boy, but he drives here all the way from Mansfield for these concerts. Rick Anderson, and last but certainly not least, the person who makes all of this happen. And this year he made it happen despite not being 100%. We're certainly glad to have him back, and that's our band manager, John DiCicco. So give everybody a round of applause. And we want to thank our dear friend Jude Arsenault, who's been helping John and helping John and me for 50 years now with every band that we've had together. And Kai Arsenault, who has been taping these concerts for LTV so that my sister Norma in in Virginia now can watch them. Hi, Norma. And thank you, Kai. So this one always goes out to my mother because it was her favorite piece of everything we did. We could knock ourselves silly with Dvorak. Where was I? Oh, yes. This one always goes out to my mother because no matter how much we worked on something intricate and fantastic, this next one was her favorite. And so we send this out to Rita. This is Instant Concert. Thank you. We'll see you December 13th, Leominster City Hall. Thanks for being with us all summer, indoors and out. We'll see you in December.
No, that's September.